Today we're going to be taking a close look at the Super Bowl by Alexander Effects with special guest Andy Othling and Matthew from Alexander Effects. Let's go.
So, we've got this pedal called the Super Bowl, and this is a great example of me not knowing when to quit. So, I came up with the idea for this thing a few months ago, and I thought, what would it be like if your guitar was in a rubber ball? Because that's the kind of weirdo I am. I made a pedal called the Marshmallow, and see how that turned out. So, I started messing around with how do you make a guitar sound like it's in a rubber ball? Well, it needs to bounce. So I came up with this thing that's a digital delay, and it has a multi-mode low frequency oscillator, an LFO. So similar to what you find on a synthesizer. And the LFO can control any or all of the knobs on the pedal at the same time, in any direction, by any amount. So just to give you an example, we've got a patch here where when Andy plays, there's a short delay, and the mix of the delay is actually modulated. Let's change this because we're on a different setting here. Reload. So, like all of our Neo series pedals, it says presets. So this is the preset that I was talking about. So there's a short delay, and you can hear the mix of the delay is modulating. So it's fading in and out. But the delay is much shorter, so the delay sustains through those modulated sort of the wave. So we've got the clean signal, which comes through normally, and then we've got, on top of that, the modulated delay. We're not modulating the time, we're just modulating the mix. So it's kind of a different effect. But you can modulate everything at the same time by any amount that you want. And we've got several different wave shapes. You can turn the modulation off if you want. We go to the LFO mode and turn it right down. So here's no modulation at all. This is just the normal delay. And then we can turn the modulation back up. So it's really flexible. And then if we want to get crazy, we've actually got, let me turn the modulation off real quick. We've actually got a sequencer that lets you control the clock of the delay. So in this mode, we can control the clock, and that is going to pitch and time shift everything that's in the delay. So when I increase it, the pitch goes up and the speed goes up, and as I turn it down, it goes down and down. And then you can do this. step is quantized to octaves and fifths, so it stays pretty consonant as you move it around. If you want, you can actually have that sequenced, so the pedal does it by itself. And if you want to get really crazy, there's a lot of extra MIDI features as well. So basically what we've got here is a delay that modulates everything, and then there's another modulation source that controls the clock rate, the audio of the whole system, and they're totally independent. Or you can lock them together, or you can single step them, you can make it bounce like a rubber ball, you can do all kinds of stuff. Devon asked me to show you guys this, because this is probably the dumbest thing on the whole pedal, and maybe the coolest thing. So we use an app called Touch OSC, and this is it's on the Android and iOS stores, and it's like $6, but it lets you create your own MIDI controllers and design your own interface. And so since we launched the Neo Series pedals, I've been making these little templates for all these apps, so we can kind of control what they do in maybe in a more intuitive manner. You don't need the app to do any of this stuff, but it's really helpful. And so what we're going to do here is I'm actually going to turn off the sequencer, and I'll show you guys here. You can see on the display here, you see the steps knob here.
Nice.
Right, so we're going to turn the sequencer off. We're going to put the pattern to user, set to free. And so now what's going to happen is I'm going to increase the delay feedback a little bit here. Right? So what I can actually do,
Oh, wow.
let me change this one thing here. So I've set all the steps in the sequence to be unison. So whatever Andy plays is what we get out of the delay. You can hear that. And now I'm going to set the next step to an octave down. So. And now I'm going to set the next step to the octave back here, and we'll do G, and we'll do A. So now we've entered in a sequence with the MIDI controller, and it's going to play that sequence, and if you save the preset now, it'll save that sequence. So you can actually have the thing play, transpose your signal by any intervals that you want, up to a 3-octave range. Now, if you want to get super stupid, you can just turn the whole thing off entirely, and I can just straight up play the delay.
Now we're talking.
Right? Here's the fun part.
What am I doing?
Nothing.
I'm not doing
But
anything.
now you can play over it. It's really loud, so
really loud.
yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's pretty fun.
Well, all good things must come to an end, and I hope you've had as much fun as I have. Special thanks to our special guests, Andy Othling and Matthew. This has been fun. Let's do it again. Okay. Bye.
cut.